as the internet goes, I've always been really a big fan of it because I grew up with the internet. MySpace came about when I was 13 and I immediately got one, and the same thing happened when Facebook came about and Twitter, and I've just always really loved being a part of the newest internet thing. My website is something I'm really proud of because it offers so much, so many different galleries of pictures and videos that are available, and message boards and forums, and it's become a really cool thing to know that if I want to get a message out to my fans, I can update them within seconds and have them know what it is that I need them to know. I think that it's really important that you find whatever way it is that you feel most comfortable expressing yourself, find that and do that. I think that for me, the way that I feel most comfortable expressing myself is through journaling and through my music. And I think that writing in some form is just really important. And I think that if it's important to you to look back on your life later on and be able to read what you were thinking today, then you should do that. But whether it's like pictures or a photo album or journals, I think that you should preserve the way your life is now so you can remember it later. And that's goal number one. And then goal number two is just being able to, at the end of the day, think about all that you felt that day, think about all the things that you did that day, and really be able to process it and write it down. So I would encourage people to journal and to write in a diary because what you did today is important. With my schedule being so crazy, a lot of times it's hard at the end of the night to motivate yourself to get up and go get your journal and write all of this stuff down. But I still do it because it's important. You have to find importance in what you did that day, even if it was just a bunch of mundane stuff. It's a part of your story, and they're all details that matter. And a lot of times I'll find out things about how I feel about that day when I'm writing it all in my journal that I really kind of wouldn't have come to the conclusions if I hadn't written it down. So I think it's important. Movies are something that I've been really lucky to be a part of in the past year, having a little role in Valentine's Day. That movie was so much fun to be a part of because I got to play this amazing character that was just, I got to be kind of funny and do this impromptu dance in the middle of a football field, and it was really, really fun to be a part of that. For me, when it comes to approaching a movie that might have me in a bigger role, I would definitely want to make sure it was a project that I was in love with, because when it comes to approaching anything outside of music, it's definitely going to take a little more convincing for me to do it. So if I go for a movie, I would definitely apply myself 100%, and I think that if that were the case, it would be a year to a year and a half from now when I had a minute to really apply myself. With my music, one of my favorite things about the whole process is that I've never thought about demographics or statistics or formats of radio that the music will be played on. When I'm writing the music, I'm thinking about the person I'm writing that song about and how they're going to feel when they hear it on the radio, or how they feel when they're going to pop it into their CD player and finally know what I think about them. That's the number one thought that's running through my mind when I'm writing songs. But I've been so flattered and so pleasantly surprised by the wide range of ages that listen to my music and the wide range of ages of people who show up to the concerts. That's been wonderful to see that, because here I am just writing about where I am right now in my life, and the fact that that applies to other people who may be in different seasons of their lives, living completely different lives, that's really, really cool to think about. When I write songs and I finish that part of it, and I'm living with that song and playing it in the car, I start to see these visuals of how that song should look when I perform it live in my concert tour, and how that song could look in a music video, and how that page of the CD booklet should look, and what font they should use for the title. I start to see all of these things, and they come together in my head very quickly, and it's like I feel really lucky to be able to be a huge part of, you know, creating this album that gets to be mine. It gets to be the way that I see these songs and the way that I feel this album should look, down to every single last detail. Taking ownership of this album makes me care about everything.